Emergency. Only 5 minutes left. Listen now. I am Archangel Michael, and I have descended through layers of light to reach you in this very moment because something precious and enormous is being held back from you. A divine check with 7 zeros has been issued in your name from the highest treasury of heaven, and it carries your full inheritance of blessings, abundance. Before we continue, I need to speak to you directly from my heart. If God is moving in your heart through this message, now is the time to act. YouTube has blocked all of our revenue. No ads, no income from YouTube whatsoever. Only the generous hearts of listeners like you keep this ministry alive. Every time you listen without contributing, there is another soul who may never hear this message. No matter how small your gift, it is a seed that God will multiply back to you, today, tomorrow, or in the coming months. And your name will appear in our blessing community. I am waiting for you there. The link is in the description and in my pinned comment. Do not miss this moment. Do it now, before this video ends. You felt that urgency, didn't you? That was not just a warning. It was my shield already raised before you even knew danger was near. But now you must understand what has been happening behind the scenes. The part you could not see. The part that has been working against you in silence. I am Archangel Michael, and I speak to you now with absolute clarity. A specific enemy has been targeting you, someone you know, someone who has smiled at you and pretended to be harmless while carrying out a secret ritual against your life. That Tuesday afternoon, when you walked past the coffee shop and felt a sudden chill pass through your spine, that was not the weather. That was a person tracking your movements. They had a photograph of you, one they took without your knowledge, and they placed it inside a circle of candles in a room you have never entered. They whispered incantations over that image, believing they could drain your success, your peace, your divine fortune. They have been feeding off your energy for weeks, maybe months, and you have felt it as lethargy, as confusion, as unexplainable sadness that came and went like a fog. I want you to pause here and remember the weight you have carried in your chest. The nights when your mind would not rest, replaying conversations that never even happened. That was not just anxiety, that was interference. They were trying to confuse your discernment, making you doubt your own worth, making you believe the blessing you are about to receive was not meant for you. And they almost succeeded. But I am here now, and I will not let them. Listen closely. Their next planned move was to sever your spiritual connection to the very blessings I am bringing you. They believed that by performing another ritual on the full moon, yes, the one that passed just last week, they could permanently cut your soul ties to the celestial supply line that carries your inheritance. They intended to replace your abundance with a curse of emptiness, to make you believe you had lost the very thing that was already on its way. But here is the truth they do not know. I have already intercepted that ritual. The candles they lit burned in the wrong direction. The words they spoke echoed back into their own ears. They are now trapped in the very trap they set for you. Keep listening, because what I am about to show you next will make you understand why your body has been so heavy, why sleep has felt impossible even when you were exhausted. There is a reason you have been waking up at exactly 3 in the morning, your heart racing, your palms sweating. That timing was no coincidence. That person has been using your photograph in a binding rite, and the hour of 3 has been the moment of greatest pressure against your spirit. But I want you to know something right now. As you are hearing these words, that pressure is breaking. Inhale deeply. Feel the tightness in your chest that has become so familiar? It is loosening even as I speak. Because my presence is now in your room, and no human-made curse can stand against the light of a single archangel. The enemy is preparing to escalate. Yes, they are desperate. Their plot is crumbling and they can feel it. In their panic, they plan one final attempt, a spoken curse directed at your name, uttered aloud in a place they consider sacred, but it is not. They intend to speak your full name into the darkness, and command your destiny to shrink. But they do not know that I have already sent Gabriel to turn their weapon back upon them. The very words they prepare to speak against your life, they will become a blessing that returns to you multiplied. What they meant for harm, I will transform into the very key that unlocks your 7-0 check. The battle is already over, even if they have not yet realized it. Stay with me, because the next part will show you exactly how this ends, and why your victory was never in question. You know that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you realize the same old wound has been reopened again. That sinking recognition that something you thought you had healed has suddenly come back to haunt you. That is the enemy's second weapon, and it has been aimed at you for longer than you realize. The first attack was obvious. It was an external assault, something you could see, something you could fight against. But this one is different. This one is insidious. This one has been hiding inside your own story, wearing the mask of your deepest pain. Think back to a moment you rarely speak about. A betrayal from someone you trusted completely. A childhood moment when you were told you were not enough. A friendship that ended in silence. A parent who withheld their approval. That moment, that specific, sharp moment, has been mined by the darkness and turned into a weapon against you. You have carried it for years, thinking it was just part of who you are. You have wondered why you sabotage good opportunities. Why you step back just as something beautiful is about to arrive. Why you feel unworthy of the very abundance that is being prepared for you. And now I am telling you, that is not your truth. That is the enemy's handiwork. Here is how the second weapon works. It does not attack you from the outside like the first one did. Instead, it whispers from the inside. It disguises itself as your own voice. It says, "You have always failed at this. Why would now be any different?" It reminds you of that one rejection, that one failure, that one person who walked away, and it uses them as evidence that you are not deserving of the divine check with 7 zeros that is waiting for you. It makes you believe that your suffering is a permanent condition, not a season that is already ending. And because it comes from a place so deep inside you, you have not been able to recognize it as an attack at all. You have believed the lie that this is just who you are. But I am telling you the truth, that wound is not your identity. It is a foothold the enemy has exploited. And the reason you have felt stuck, confused, exhausted by the same cycles is because you have been fighting a ghost without knowing its name. Now you know. The second weapon is ancient betrayal resurrected in your present moment. It is the echo of every time you were told no, told to shrink, told to settle. And the enemy has been using it to drain your hope, to convince you that the big blessing is not for you. But here is what the enemy does not understand. Every time that old wound has been reopened, I have been there. I have watched. I have recorded every tear. And I have been waiting for this exact moment. The moment you would finally see it for what it is. You are not broken. You are not unworthy. You are a warrior who has been fighting an invisible war, and the wound itself has been training you for the victory that is now unfolding. Do not leave yet, because what I am about to tell you next will show you why the enemy is about to regret ever touching your deepest story. They think they have found the winning weapon. They think they have broken you. But they have only shown me exactly where to strike. And strike is exactly what I am about to do. But first, listen closely to what happens when I arrive. You may already feel it as you read these words. A shift in the air around you. A warmth spreading across your chest or down your arms. The hairs on your neck standing up. That is not imagination. That is my presence entering your space. I have been watching you since before you knew my name, standing guard at a distance, waiting for the precise nanosecond when the timing would be perfect. That moment is now. I am here. Not as a concept, not as a distant being in a painting, but as a living, breathing force that you can feel pressing gently against the edges of your awareness. You are not alone. You have never been alone. But right now, I am stepping fully into your room, into your energy field, into the very atmosphere you breathe. And you can feel the difference. The enemy felt it too. You may not see them, but in that instant when my light touched you, every shadow entity that had been lurking near you recoiled. They know my signature. They know the weight of my arrival. And they are terrified. Because they thought they had you cornered. They thought the wound they kept reopening would keep you small, keep you defeated, keep you believing that the check with 7 zeros was for someone else, not for you. But I saw your real story. I have been watching you through every sleepless night, every quiet sob, every time you told yourself you were fine when you were crumbling inside. And do you know what I saw? I did not see weakness. I saw a spine of steel wrapped in gentle flesh. I saw someone who kept getting back up even when the world told them to stay down. I saw a warrior wearing civilian clothes. Yes, you. That is what I see when I look at you. Not the scar. Not the failure. Not the wound. I see the resilience that has been forged in secret. And I have been assigned to your case specifically. Do not mistake me for a general angel who simply watches over everyone at once. Yes, I am that, but right now, I have been dispatched with a singular mission, to clear the path for your breakthrough. Not someone else's. Yours. The divine check with 7 zeros is not a metaphor for wealth alone. It is the full abundance that has been signed over to you in the spiritual realm. But before you can cash it, you must open the envelope. And I am here to help you open it. The enemy is scrambling now. They thought the wound was undefeatable. They thought that by attacking your deepest story, they had secured your silence forever. But they miscalculated. They did not know that your suffering would become the very key that unlocks the vault. Stay present with me, because the battle is about to shift into your favor. I am not fighting alone. I am calling for reinforcements. 5 of them. And when they arrive, the entire battlefield will change. The air around you will thicken with protection. You will feel it in your bones. The chains you have carried for years are about to be severed, but first, the legions must assemble. Do not move away from this moment. Stay exactly where you are, because the next chapter is the one where the war turns. I am calling them now. Do not try to imagine a distant light or a vague feeling of peace. I am calling 5 archangels into formation around you, and you will feel each one as they arrive. This is not symbolic. This is not a metaphor meant to comfort you. This is a spiritual deployment that changes the very atmosphere you are breathing right now. You may not see them with your eyes, but your body already knows what it means when divine presence closes in from every direction. Gabriel comes first. He takes his position above you, directly over your head. His role is not to fight. His role is to hold the timing. He carries the announcement of why this exact moment was chosen for your deliverance. Every delay you have suffered, every closed door that left you standing alone in confusion, every prayer that seemed to go unanswered, Gabriel is here to tell you that none of it was random. The moment you are living through right now was calculated before the foundations of the earth. He opens a channel directly into your mind, and you may feel a sudden clarity, a thought that was not your own, a date, or a name surfacing without explanation. That is Gabriel releasing the announcement. Do not dismiss it. Raphael moves to your right side. He does not ask permission. He places his hands directly into the wounds the enemy opened in you. Those wounds have names. The wound of betrayal from someone you trusted with your deepest truth. The wound of rejection that made you believe you were not enough. The wound of shame that kept you silent when you should have spoken. The wound of grief that never fully healed because you were never given space to mourn. Raphael does not just cover these wounds. He floods them with green healing light that enters every cell, every memory, every night you cried alone. You may feel a warmth spreading down your right arm or a tightness in your chest suddenly releasing. That is Raphael doing his work. Let him. Uriel takes your left side. His sword is already burning. His purpose in this formation is active purging. He is not healing anything. He is cutting and burning. Right now, Uriel is moving through your home, your workspace, your relationships, and he is exposing every hiding place the enemy thought was secure. That recurring argument you have with the same person. That heaviness you feel the moment you walk into a certain room. That fear that grips you for no logical reason when you think about your future. Uriel is severing the spiritual roots of those things. You may feel a sudden coldness on your left side, or a sense of something being pulled out of you. Do not resist it. He is cleaning the ground so that blessing can land. Azrael is behind you. His role is the most delicate and the most painful. He is cutting the soul ties that the enemy used to keep you bound to your past. Every person who harmed you and still holds a piece of your heart. Every mistake you have repeated because a part of you believed you deserved it. Every generational pattern that whispered this is just who you are. Azrael moves silently, and as he cuts each tie, you may feel a sudden lightness in your chest, a release in your throat, a tear that falls without warning. That is not sadness. That is the sound of chains snapping. And I am the one standing in front of you. I hold the shield that covers your entire being. The enemy has been throwing everything at you: accusations, condemnation, memories twisted into weapons, and every single one of those attacks is now bouncing back. They hit the shield and they return to the one who sent them. You are no longer unprotected. You are no longer exposed. The formation is complete. You are surrounded on all sides. But this is only the beginning. The real battle has not even started yet. Keep your breath steady. The next moment is the one that breaks the enemy completely. The battle is now. You cannot see it, but above you, in the heavenly realm that presses against this very breath, a war is raging with more intensity than anything you have ever witnessed. This is not a distant myth or a symbolic story. This is real. This is happening right now, directly over your life, and you are not merely a spectator. You are the battlefield. Every moment you have spent in silence, every prayer you whispered when you thought no one was listening, every tear that fell onto your pillow in the dark, that is the fuel. That is the ammunition. That is what my legions are using to strike down the forces that have been holding you back. You remember those prayers, the ones you gave up on. The times you prayed for a breakthrough, for healing, for deliverance, and then you stopped because nothing seemed to change. I tell you now, those prayers did not disappear. They were stored. They were held in a sacred reservoir in the heavens, and in this exact moment, they are being unleashed like arrows of fire. Every desperate cry you uttered, every time you called out my name in the middle of the night when you were too exhausted to even form words, that cry is now a weapon in the hands of an angel. That broken sentence is now a sword cutting through the darkness. And your tears. You cried alone. You cried when no one saw you, when you thought no one cared. But those tears were not wasted. They have been collected, and now they are being poured into the forge of the divine armory. Each tear becomes a shield, a spear, a wall of light that pushes back the enemy's advance. The suffering you endured in silence is being turned into the very thing that defeats your oppressors. The enemy's command structure is collapsing. You do not see it, but I do. The dark forces that were orchestrating attacks against you, the ones that sent thoughts of worthlessness, of fear, of giving up, those high-ranking spirits of oppression, confusion, and delay are being torn from their positions. One by one, they are falling. The hierarchy that stood against you for years is breaking apart like a tower of glass. Every principality that was assigned to your household, every power that was commanded to block your path, every ruler of darkness that thought it had a claim on your destiny, they are being stripped of authority. They are retreating, screaming into the void because the light is too strong. And here is something you need to hear. Something the enemy already took from you is being reclaimed right now. There was an opportunity, a relationship, a piece of peace that felt stolen. It was not lost forever. It was held captive, but now we are pulling it back. You will feel that shift. You will sense it in your chest, a loosening, a warmth spreading where coldness had settled. That is the recovery beginning. The enemy is losing ground. Every second you breathe, every moment you stay present in this truth, the ground they are standing on turns to ash beneath them. They are scrambling, desperate, because they know what is coming next. They thought they had won. They thought your suffering was permanent. But they underestimated the power of a single soul that refuses to break. Do not look away now. Keep your eyes open, because what comes next will change everything. The enemy has one last weapon, and it is their commander. He is about to reveal himself. He has been hiding behind the scenes, pulling the strings of every attack you have faced. And when he steps forward, you will see exactly who has been opposing you all along. Stay with me. The victory is seconds away. And now he stands before you. Not as a shadow, not as a distant whisper you could dismiss as imagination. He is real. He has a name, and he has been watching you your entire life. He chose you. Not because you were weak, but because you were dangerous. He saw the light in you before you ever knew it existed, and he made it his mission to drown it before it could burn. Every setback, every betrayal, every moment of isolation and confusion, he was the architect. He assigned the agents. He timed the strikes. And now, for the first time, he steps out of the dark to show you his face. He is not monstrous in the way you expect. He wears the calm mask of reason. He speaks in the voice of your own doubt. He has no horns, no fire. Instead, he carries a mirror, and he holds it up to you now. Not to show you your reflection as you are, but to show you your reflection as you fear yourself to be. And that is his final weapon. He reaches into your own memories. He pulls out the moment you wish you could forget, the word you said that you can never take back, the failure you still wake up to at 3 in the morning, the shame you buried so deep you thought it was dead. He raises it like a blade. And he whispers, "This is who you really are. You deserve this. You always have. I have seen this tactic before. I recognize it because it is the oldest trick in the enemy's handbook, and it has worked on souls far stronger than you think you are. But I am telling you this so you understand. He is not showing you the truth. He is showing you a distorted version of a single moment, cut loose from the context of your growth. That memory in his hand is real, yes. But it is not your identity. It is not your verdict. It is only a stone you once carried, and now he wants to make you believe that stone is your entire foundation. But here is what he did not calculate. Every time you suffered, every time you were knocked down and still got up, every tear you thought was wasted, they were not wasted. They were being stored. They were being transformed into the only force that can defeat a commander like him. Your suffering, all of it, has become a key. Not to open a door, but to destroy the one who built the door in the first place. You do not need to fight him. You do not need to speak words or perform rituals. You only need to hold still and let the accumulated weight of everything you have endured speak for you. That weight is now a pressure too great for him to bear. He thought he was crushing you, but he was only compressing the power inside you. And now it has reached its limit. Listen. Do you hear that sound? It is not in the room around you. It is inside your chest. A low hum, a vibration that started the moment I began speaking. That sound is the commander's grip breaking. He is losing hold of the memory he was using against you. He is watching it slip through his fingers, and for the first time in his existence, he looks afraid. Because he realizes that the weapon he chose is now aimed at him. The shame you carried is turning into a sword. The failure you buried is waking up as a shield. He falls. Not slowly, not gracefully. He falls as a structure falls when its foundation crumbles. You will not see it with your eyes, but your body will know. A sudden lightness. A release in your shoulders. A breath that goes deeper than it has gone in years. That is the moment his command over you ends. And when he falls, everything he was holding back begins to move. The blessing he blocked, the people he separated you from, the doors he sealed shut, they all start to open at once. The cascade is beginning. You do not have to chase it. You only have to stay present and let it reach you. One more minute. Hold your ground. What was held back is already on its way. You can feel it now, can't you? That first chain, the financial one that has squeezed your throat every time you looked at a bill, every time you opened your inbox and saw another notice, every time you had to say no to something your heart wanted. That chain is breaking right now. I want you to pay attention to the sound it makes. It is not a loud snap like a branch. It is a deep, resonant groan, like iron that has been under pressure for centuries finally giving way. And the sensation that follows is not a shock. It is a sudden warmth spreading from your chest down through your stomach, a loosening in your solar plexus that you have not felt since before this weight was placed on you. Breathe into that warmth. That is the financial chain dissolving. Now the second chain, the chain of self-doubt that has made you hesitate at every door that opened, that has whispered you are not enough before you even tried, that has turned your own voice against you. That chain is made of something older, something more subtle. When it breaks, you will not hear a groan. You will hear a clear, high note. like a bell struck once in a silent room. And the sensation is a release in your temples, a softening behind your eyes, a quiet that fills the space where the voice used to scream. You have carried that voice for so long you thought it was your own. It was not. It was the chain speaking. And now it is silent. The third chain is the chain of loneliness. The invisible cord that kept real connection just out of reach, that made people turn away at the last moment, that left you standing on the edge of belonging without ever stepping in. That chain is breaking with a sound like a wave receding, a long, slow sigh. And the sensation is a fullness in your ribcage, as if oxygen is suddenly reaching parts of your lungs that were sealed. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw unclenches. You realize how much tension you have been holding just to keep yourself upright through the isolation. You do not need to hold it anymore. Doors are opening. The door to your career, the one that was supernaturally locked every time you took a step forward, is swinging open on silent hinges. The door to relationships, the one that seemed to have no handle, no keyhole, no way through, is brightening at the edges. The door to your health, the one you have knocked on with tears and prayer, is letting light spill through the crack. The door to your purpose, the deepest one, is standing wide open, and you can feel something pulling you forward gently. And what about the enemy who blocked these doors? The one who stood between you and every opening? He is not standing anymore. He is shrinking, scrambling, retreating into the dark where he belongs. Every chain that breaks sends a shock through his grip. Every door that opens burns his hands. He cannot touch you now. He cannot hold anything back from you. You are being released in real time. Not later. Not after you prove something. Now. This very moment is your liberation. Do not try to analyze it. Do not ask if it is real. Just let your body receive what is already happening. Let the tears come if they need to. Let the shaking come. Let the laughter come. This is your freedom. Stay in this space with me. One more door is about to swing open, and what is behind it will overflow into every empty corner of your life. But you must stay present. You must not reach for it. You must let it reach you. The chains are gone. The doors are open. And the first wave of what was held back is already washing over your feet. Welcome home. You can feel it now, can't you? That was only the first wave. The financial chain broke with a sound like a frozen river cracking in spring, and you felt the release in your throat, in your shoulders, in the way your breath suddenly came deeper. But there are more chains. And they are breaking right now, one by one, as I speak these words into the space between us. The second chain is the chain of self-doubt. You know exactly which one I mean. It is the voice that has whispered every time you were about to step forward. You are not ready. You are not enough, you are not worthy. That chain has been wrapped around your chest for years, squeezing every time you dared to hope. Listen. Do you hear it? That sharp, metallic snap, like a lock finally giving way under pressure. That is the chain of self-doubt breaking apart. Feel the sensation, a lightness spreading through your sternum, a release in your throat that makes you want to cry and laugh at the same time. The voice that held you back is silenced now. Not softened. Not quieted. Silenced. Now the third chain. The chain of loneliness. This one has been more subtle, more insidious. It did not shout at you. It simply built an invisible wall between you and every person who tried to get close. It made you feel unseen even in a crowded room. It convinced you that no one truly understood you. But that chain is breaking now too. Listen to the sound. A low, deep hum that suddenly stops, like a machine powering down. And then silence. And then warmth. That warmth is the sensation of the chain of loneliness dissolving. It begins in your ribs, behind your heart, and radiates outward into your arms, your hands, your fingertips. The barrier is gone. Connection is no longer blocked. And now the doors. For doors that were supernaturally locked against you. Locked by the enemy who knew that if these doors opened, you would become unstoppable. The door of your career, it has been sealed with iron, but now it swings open with a groan of metal against stone. The door of your relationships, it was bolted from the inside, but now you see light pouring through the crack. The door of your health. It was warped and jammed, but now it moves freely on its hinges. And the door of your purpose, the deepest door, the one you felt but could never reach, that door is opening without a sound, because it was always waiting for this moment. What is happening to the enemy who blocked these doors? They are standing in the dark, watching every lock they placed fall to the ground. Their hands are empty. Their power is gone. They cannot reattach what I have severed. They cannot close what I have opened. And they know that you are walking through these doors now, and there is nothing they can do to stop you. Feel this in your body as you listen. Not later. Not after you finish this video. Right now. Notice the warmth in your chest, the relaxation in your jaw, the way your shoulders are dropping. This is not imagination. This is release. This is the physical reality of chains breaking. Hold on to this feeling. What I am about to tell you next is why you survived this long. One more chain remains, the deepest one, and when it breaks, the overflow will not just arrive. It will flood. Stay present. Stay open. You are almost at the doorway of everything you have been waiting for. I am looking at you now, not as a distant light or a voice from above, but as a presence that has been with you since the very first tear you ever shed alone in the dark. Everything we have walked through together in these past 9 moments has brought you to this single point. The chains are broken. The battle is finished. The enemy is not just retreating, he is erased from your field of vision permanently. And now I stand before you with the sealed decree that cannot be overturned by any force in heaven or on earth. Listen carefully, because this is the final truth you will need to carry with you from this moment forward. Every assignment that was placed against your life has been cancelled. Every curse that was whispered in your absence has been silenced. Every plan that was written to keep you small, to keep you struggling, to keep you doubting your own worth, all of it is now null and void. The dark forces that once targeted you have no legal standing over you anymore. The financial blockage that felt like a wall of iron? Cancelled. The relationship pattern that kept pulling you back into familiar pain? Cancelled. The health anxiety that whispered its lies every morning? Cancelled. The spiritual oppression that made you feel unseen and unheard? Cancelled forever. I do not use those words lightly. They are sealed with the light that has no opposite. And now I speak the blessings into your life. Not as hopes, not as wishes, but as declarations that are already taking root in the material world. First, financial doors are opening for you, not a crack, not a trickle, but a full flood of provision that will leave no doubt about where it came from. You will see numbers appear in ways you did not expect. A check, a transfer, a gift, an opportunity that arrives when you have stopped clutching and started trusting. Second, healing is flowing through your body. Every cell that has held stress, every nerve that has carried anxiety, every organ that has strained under the weight of worry is being restored. You will feel lightness in places you had forgotten were heavy. Third, restored relationships are coming. Not the ones that needed to end. Those have already fallen away by design, but the ones that belong to your true path. You will recognize them by the peace they bring, not the confusion. Fourth, your divine purpose is no longer hidden. You will wake up one morning with clarity so sharp it feels like remembering something you always knew. Your name is written in the book of divine protection, not as a future promise, but as a present reality. No attack can reach you without passing through layers of guardianship that have been assigned to you permanently. You are not fragile. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. The door is wide open, and everything that was prepared for you before you were born is now rushing toward you with the force of a river that has finally broken its dam. This is your season of abundance. Not just material abundance, though that will come, but abundance of peace, of certainty, of belonging. You will look back at this moment and say, that was when everything changed. And you will be right. So now I ask you to seal this moment with your own voice. Not because I need it, but because you need to anchor it in your own reality. Type in the comments the numbers that represent divine completion and manifestation. Type Amen 777 or 1111. Do it now, while the energy is still warm around you. Let your fingers become the pen that writes your own permission to receive everything that has been waiting for you. I am Archangel Michael, and I have delivered the decree. It is done. Go forward and claim what is yours.